In this part and in the coming one, I want to speak about the real implication of all of what we learned until now about what AI is capable of doing on the everyday of the business world. So we started with the relativity space, which was, I think it's a wonderful example of how you take all the value chain and you change it totally. You simply, you turn it upside down using AI. Now I want to give us some more incredible options, or I would say examples of how we do it. So bear with me. You know me, it takes me always a second to do that. So here we go. So we are with the slide. So today I want to speak about in cellular medicine. This is a genius called Alex Zabronov, sorry, I do apologize, especially to Alex, which I know. So anyway, he is trying to disrupt the whole value chain of creating a new medicine. Usually a new medicine is the most horrific, I think, process that there is. This is the worst innovation process that I know about, because it takes between 12 to 15 years. It costs between $2.7 billion to $15 billion. You start the first phase with 10,000 molecules and you finish with one. And then when you get to the last phase, which is human trial, usually about more than 95% of the products are falling. So, it's really being extremely courageous. This is why I think, thinking about even creating a new medicine, I think this is the reason why the medicine companies are so hanging up to the, I would say their copyrights and ownership and patent, because they really have to find a way that will be worthwhile for them to do this huge investment. It's ridiculous. So the issue of return of investment is of course so crucial, and of course you have the FDA and the whole process of approving. So it's a horrible process. For anyone who was ever involved with it, I'm sure you agree with me, because it's 2 steps ahead, one and a half steps back, 2 steps ahead and 2 steps back, 1 step ahead and 2 steps back. So you never know. It's really, how can you capture and hold to this large amount, enormous amount of uncertainty while you're doing it. So what he's doing right now, he is using AI to change the process. I hope we will find some time and we'll speak, deeply about the process that they are doing, because they're doing magnificent work on different kind of medicine, but mainly he's now focusing on longevity. But and he spoke in the last Abundance 360 meeting that was what that we had with Peter Diamandis group a while ago. So, but what he is doing right now, that even if we're only speaking about the first phase, which takes a few months to a few years, he's doing it in 49 days. And we know that wet science, biology, is the most difficult science, because there are so many unknowns, and there are so many unknowns. So I think even cutting this first part, and now, of course, once we can get to, doing all kind of experiment on a chip. You have a laboratory on a chip, yeah. When you get the cells of a patient, and you start to do all the experiments on this, lab on a chip. I think this is going to be a huge difference. So look up in cellular medicine, and I really encourage you to follow his work, Alex's work, because I think he's going to get a Nobel Prize one day. This is what I think, because he says, I don't have a family, I don't have children, I devote myself for changing medicine, the profession of medicine, and of creating new medicines and he's not only for looking for money and fame, but he really wants to create I think an economic solution for all of us. So this is why he's working right about small molecules, which usually is the easiest way for us.
We developed the software that other people can use, but not only for chemistry, also for biology. So we allow people using generative AI to discover new targets. And then we also allow them and decipher the mechanism of disease, and then generate the small molecules with the desired properties. And then also using generative AI, using transformer neural network, we predict the outcome of clinical trial, phase 2 to phase 3. So basically trying to replicate the entire process of pharmaceutical R&D and turn it into a generative exercise. And we let people use the software. And then in 2019, 2020, we actually thought, okay, well, how do we make people believe that it really works, right? How do we make the ChatGPT moment in pharma? And we decided to actually synthesize and test our own molecules for a novel target. So go all the way ourselves, right?
Amazing. So what he's doing is not only working for himself, but he also open source the platform, the software. So if you're interested, you can connect him and see whether you can collaborate in any way. And as you see, now he took the whole process and not only the first process where he started. So I think follow him and see where he's going. Another I think example which I find extremely endearing, at least for me, it's dear to my heart, is how do you take a company which is 120 or 150 years old or whatever, something. I mean, it's what we call a real legacy company. Let's put it in this way, and totally transform it. So this company, John Deere, they said, well, how can we make the lives of our clients easier? Think about the farmer getting up in the morning, at dawn, and he's going out to the field, working with his hands. And we know already that, agriculture is the worst, profession, because the level of uncertainty is immense. You have problems with your soil, with the weather, with all kinds of, problems that you're going to have, all kinds of pesticides that are going to come and you have to deal with, and so forth. So anyway, this is a very hard profession. And he says, people over there said, can we reimagine what does it mean to be a farmer by using our tools? How can we transform our tools, the machines that we create, in order to transform the lives, the profession of the farmers? So you see, so just give you the vision. So if I'm a farmer, I'm sitting at home, okay, and I have a self-driving, tractor, and it goes off. And what he does is, first of all, he's just checking the soil, and he's sending me information. What is the health of the soil? What is missing? What is already there, but probably not in the right amount? How should I make this soil more fruitful, more, I would say, more generous towards me? Let's put it in an emotional way. What is worthwhile planting there? What seed should I put in the plant, in the soil? What should I do with this? So then they do the assessment, the analysis. Then you get a report, and then you're thinking, okay, what should I do? And then you're using the same machine, again, to find out what is the situation of your plants whilst you planted them. Do they need water? Do they need any kind of assistance, any fertilizer? Should we add something to them? When should we harvest them? Suddenly, this machine was a stupid machine. Suddenly, it's become a wise machine. Okay, so it's a smart machine, as Kevin Kelly says. So suddenly, my relationship to John Deere is now as a partner, not as a supplier. He's my assistant. And then if I take, and now think about the situation that John Deere is taking the data of all my neighbors, and perhaps in other, areas in the country where there are farmers who, perhaps doing the same work, that are interested in planting as well, doesn't matter, banana or avocado, whatever. And they have a big data, and they can even tell me, how am I doing in comparison to other friends, competitors, whatever? And what should I do in order to narrow this gap or close it totally? Think about it. A totally different ball game and a totally different lives for the farmers. And John Deere suddenly, is a supplier of knowledge, of wisdom. And it's not only, so the relationship with this company is totally different. This is another a wonderful example that IKEA is working on right now. I think they're working with the MIT about it, if I'm not mistaken. And, when we are buying something at IKEA, the worst part is when it's getting home, that you should take it out of the box and you should, start and put all the parts together. I would never be able to do that. What if all the parts, in a flat pack furniture, all the parts were self-assembled into complex shape as it dries? Meaning I put it out and they assemble themselves. So I think in a short time, this is what's going to happen with IKEA. So it's very interesting because what they did, they took the whole process, the whole value chain, and asked where are the pain points of the clients. And this is one of the worst pain points that you have, assembling and, building the furniture. And they found a solution using what? Technology, 3D printing, of course, and AI, where you put chips inside each of the parts, and then that there is an algorithm and there is a software that's assisting them to self-assemble. I think it's beautiful. Okay. Another one.
Oh my God!
Okay, this is this example I love very much. Elon Musk gets up in the morning, he's a very unusual guy, and he's getting extremely upset. Why? Because his car is not going to 200 miles within 5 seconds. Horrible situation. We totally agree with him, right? I'm joking, of course. So he calls his chief engineer and says, why is it? Why does it take to my car 2 minutes or 5 minutes to get to 200 miles an hour? It's not good enough. Do something about it. So it takes a while. And then after a few, days, weeks, whenever, everybody who has a Tesla gets up in the morning, people get up in the morning and they have an announcement for Tesla. There is a new app. It's called Insane Mode. You just have to plug it in and your car can go as well as Elon Musk within 5 seconds from 0 to 200 kilometers or mile in an hour in 5 seconds. That's it. Do it. So this can be only an exotic story about this billionaire, but I think there's something else which is hidden here. And I want to quote now one of my teachers, and Salim Ismail, and he says that when he showed this film to his students in the class, and he said to them, you see, what is the difference right now between, the legacy company within the automobile industry? They're saying, we are going to keep all the legacy, our legacy, where we have 100 years of, creating beautiful cars, with wonderful interior and surrounding and music, stereo equipment systems and soft leather and armchair and so forth and so forth. So we are going to keep all of this, and we are going to add computer on it, and we are going to beat the technology companies. The technology companies are saying the opposite. They're saying, let's take a computer and add wheels to the computer. Interesting. Who's going to win? The legacy company, the disruptors. But then one of his clients, his pupil student says, but if it's this what Tesla can do, meaning Tesla is not a computer with wheels. Tesla is an app on wheels. Why is it so important? Think about only one option. Right now, when we are buying a car, we are thinking about buying a car from the economical point of view, we are thinking about three numbers. How much is going to cost us? What is going to be the maintenance price for whatever period of time we're going to use it? And the third, what is going to be the reselling price? And the hidden assumption is that always the price, the reselling price is going to be lower than the price of the car that we bought it. Meaning, this is, I would say, one product that the assumption is that the highest price of it is on the day we bought it. But what happens if every time the car is being improved because we are adding more and more apps? Is it possible that the price of the car, okay, perhaps it will fall a little bit, but is it going to be downhill as we usually think? Or not? Is it even possible that, like what we have right now with our houses, that we renovate and invest in it and so forth, might it be that the car is going to be even more valuable from the economical point of view, not from the emotional point of view, 2-3 years later? And what does it mean for, I would say, the dealers and the insurance companies that are pushing for about 30 years or 20 years, this myth that you have to change your car after 3 to 5 years? Because in any case, it is an electrical car, and we know that in an electrical car, the amount of parts in the engine, the amount of moving parts in the engine of an electric car is only 10% of what we have in a usual car. So meaning the deterioration of the car, and especially for the engine, is much slower, if at all. So what does it mean? Is there really a necessity to replace the car every 3 to 5 years? What does it do to the business model, to the economic models of the insurance company, of the leasing companies, of us, the consumer? Just to give you an idea. Another one, which of course I love, is Sebastian Thrun. Sebastian Thrun, he is the genius who created the first autonomous car. He was the creator of X, of course, of Google X. So he said, what's going to happen if we find another solution for transportation, which won't be based on human capabilities? Because human capability, when it's coming to driving, is horrible. We are killing every year 1.3 million people a year driving cars. So we are not the best driver, even though we really wish we are. We have this perception of ourselves, which is based on nothing, only on our desire to perceive ourselves as wonderful drivers. We are definitely not. What if we can eliminate all this unnecessary suffering? This is what I put on the table. What if we find a solution which is not human-like? Meaning there is going to be a machine which is not going to be impact by our mood. Okay, this machine is not going to be ever tired. It will not get upset when someone is crossing. It won't be talking on the phone and it won't be sending messages. Okay, it's going to have only one role, and she's going to stick. This machine is going to stick. So this is what it did.
I'll give you credit for being the father of self-driving cars, which you built the first one. Now you're working on flying cars, and it seems there's an investment frenzy with companies as big as Airbus and Boeing trying to get into this. What will be Kitty Hawk's advantage to be first to bring this idea to the masses?
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, these are not cars. They have no wheels. They just fly.
So should we call them something else?
Call them whatever you want. But imagine you could have this magic wand that lets you like 300-400 feet in the air above the tree lines. What would you do? And sure enough, if I want to go from, say, San Francisco to Berkeley or from Jersey City to New York, I go to see.
Okay. This is another part of an interview on a different thing that he used to work on, and I think he's not working, Kitty Hawk, which is going to be the flying machine. But this is the person. So look at your business, at the places which are based on human work, and errors and faults and mistakes are being done and are harming your employees, your clients, your company. Where can you find a solution which is not human-based and is not human-like? Just to give you an idea. Now, this is a totally different concept, and I'm going to give a different, a separate lecture on it, which is based on Amin Tufani, which is also my teacher, and he believes very much in the concept of digital twins. He thinks they are going to be exponential business model, and he is talking about the digital twins, meaning you create something, okay, in a digital world which is totally similar to anything that you have in the real life, and you I would say you combine all the different technologies that you can have, okay, and to this digital twins, and then your offering, your business offering, your marketing offering is going to be totally different, okay? I would say the benefit that you're going to give to your clients, okay, is going to be totally different. So just to give you some ideas, okay. One option is, well, he's talking about when we are moving from products to services. And he says now there is going to be a new model based on the fact that you have digital twins, meaning anything that is in the physical world, you have in the digital world, and it's connected to all the different options of technology. And then he says, you can put a different value proposition on the table, which is not based on neither on your product, not on your services, but on the performance that you're giving. Just to give you an idea now. So let's assume you're getting up in the morning. You're getting up in the morning, okay? Oops, it's not working. Hold on. And okay, I'll tell the story. You're getting up in the morning and it's in Spain, and you're learning that the tax on theater plays, simply rose overnight from 8% to 21%, meaning no one is going to come to your theater play right now, right? No one is going to come to see your plays. So what they did, which is wonderful, they decided, okay, let's be creative. And they put screens and cameras in front of any kind of, on every seat, in front of every seat. And you only paid, because this was a comedy that they were playing at this time, you're only playing for the amount of laugh that you had. So the camera is, screening all the time your face, okay, and taking pictures only when you were laughing. And there is a barrier. I mean, you won't get too higher than a certain amount, which is probably the usual amount of whatever the price was at that time at Spain. But you're only paying according to the performance, how much you really laughed. So of course, this was a huge success, and all the different theater, of course, they also copy this idea, but I think it's wonderful because then you really know what you paid for. You can also print it and you can take it home and you can put it on your refrigerator, or if you want, you can put it on your website, or you can put it on your whatever you want to put it, on the media that you're using, and just, even on your screen, this can be your screensaver and so forth, seeing yourself laughing at this theater, at this performance. I think that's beautiful. So this is it. So another very interesting story, how AI is going to transform another kind of industry. These are the engine of jet engine of Rolls-Royce, and this division, is cutting edge in many ways. And the people who are working in this division believe that they are making the best jet engine ever. So, but they wanted to do the impossible. They wanted to create an engine that will never, ever be damaged by anything. No mistakes. And it can live forever. It can be used forever. Durable, sustainable. So they did it. So they presented to the board, and then the people of the board are asking themselves, but what's going to happen if we are going to sell this wonderful engine that should never be replaced? Who is going to buy our products in the future? There won't be any need for them. Interesting. Meaning they were questioning not the product. They were questioning their business model. So they made a decision to transform upside down the business model. And they made a decision to stop selling this engine. Instead of it, they said, we're going to rent them out. And they started renting them. And now, because these are their own property, okay, Rolls-Royce property, they put many sensors on each of the engine in order to supervise what's happening. Okay, they wanted to learn in real time, 24/7, what's happening with the engine. And they got to a situation that they knew a week or a month ahead which part is going to, to stop working properly. Where are going to be the damages? And they had enough time to analyze it and to create a substitute part for this part, which is not working that well. So it could, sometimes they were waiting down. What happened is that they were waiting for the aircraft to come for the mission from the flight a month before something would have happened, meaning a real pre-maintenance work, and they will replace it before anything would have happened. Unbelievable, huh? But what is more interesting is that they collected such an enormous amount of data that they could have known when the engines are working much harder than they need to. So they approach the airlines and they said, we can tell you based on our analysis which route you should take, how high the plane should fly. Meaning we can assist you in being more profitable, because we know when and how to save money, because the petrol is so expensive. So what happened? They moved from one business proposition, business model, which was this first stage. The second stage, they're repositioning themselves as a company, because right now they are not anymore sailors of engine. They are not a company which, give you the opportunity to rent the best engines. Now they are partners in decision-making processes of the clients on a daily basis. They became a data-driven company. And the engine now is only a platform for creating a better economical outcomes for their clients. Unbelievable. A company which is totally being transformed by using AI and the different and the other, of course, disruptive technologies. This is another option, which is a new kind of hedge fund, which is built on data scientists. So we used to think that you have to be an expert in economics, and you should learn about, the stock market in order to give us a very good advice. What happens when you have people which are totally unbiased and they are simply looking at the data and gives you the best advice? Totally different, again, business proposition. So when we are talking about the digital twin, so these are some options. I'll find some time and we'll have this discussion about this, but I want to give you only one example. The lives of our dear ones are the most precious one for us. And some of them prefer using bicycles for all kinds, or scooters or whatever. What if we could have known about the accident 2 minutes before it happens, and we will take the needed precautions to eliminate any option of severe injury? How would we feel about it? This is the certainty engine, and this is the example. So, hold on, look at this. Okay, 1 second before the accident happens, because 70% of the people might have a head injury, and this is might be a fatal one. Unbelievable. This is, I think, a Swedish new company. Another option I want to show you is this one. I don't know if any of you is doing yoga or would like to know yoga, but what would happen if your clothes can assist you in getting to be a much better yoga practitioner? Look at this. Hold on, it's not working. What's going on? Okay, look at it. She's practicing, and it's being connected to an app, and the information is getting to her clothes, and the clothes are giving her little, like I would say, itching that is telling her how to change the form. Okay, unbelievable. Okay, you get vibration. It's not aching in any way, but it's a small vibration that gives you the idea how can you change. So you can move, you can practice at home. And from a newcomer, you became, I wouldn't say guru, but so this is where it looks. Try them. You might find it's surprising. So this we saw already. Now, the other thing I want to speak about is the fact that in the coming decade, we are going to deal with an enormous amount of uncertainty. And the best way, I think, of dealing with uncertainty is to try your ideas again and again and again. So I don't like the term failing. I think better is falling. And now this is what Simon Sinek, I'm just, quoting Simon Sinek right now. And I think once you do that, and you get to the idea that whenever you want to do something different and you really want to make a change in the world, by necessity, you are going to fall many times. But if you create a process that you're falling very quickly and you're learning very rapidly, I think that is the most important. And definitely, if you're making it using a process that is not so too expensive, and of course not in the, I would say, in the heart of the company. So you won't create any kind of, horrible, there won't be any horrible consequences to anything that you're doing. So if we're talking about the model of testing, building, and testing again, okay? So I think this is what we are going to start doing very quickly using it, because you can do, in Amazon right now, you can go and you can, I think, create an enormous amount of experiments every day, okay, without crashing the company. And I think this AI is going to assist us. So if we're talking about, of course, people's lives, so we're going to do it with medicine, but also we can do it in business world in any kind of way. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to find a place or a community or a group which is not, the essential one for the company, and we're going to test over there all our new ideas, which is much better than sitting in a room and discussing it and coming out with, doing a wonderful, large, launch without really launching a new product or a new company or whatever, without testing it. So I think this is going to be crucial. I believe AI is going to be our best tool. So if I have to summarize right now, AI, I think it's going to assist us in unbundling and rebundling our business. It's going to assist us in serving the underserved, which right now we are not doing it, okay? But then once we get enough data, okay, about the people, for example, that don't have right now any kind of credit history because they never got any. So, it's a vicious circle. So because you can't give people credit on because they never had one. But now if we can collect, an enormous amount of data, and not only the 4 parameters now are being used in the States for creating a score for which is, it's supposed to be good enough, but what if we could have 10,000 and 20,000, okay? And use them and give them as you do, for example, what people do right now in China in a matter of seconds or minutes. So I think this is going to be a huge change. So if we can elevate people from poverty, I think this is going to be going to have an immense impact on our life as a species. Okay, urbanization, definitely we're going to assist in how can we really make the life in the big cities, which are extreme consent and you can't really move in the city and we have a pollution problem and so forth. So I think this we're going definitely to use this to any kind of business proposition that we are going to have regarding that. We are going to create uncommon partnership, because we are going to move beyond the common belief and behind our limitations and bias. Definitely, it's going to be a client-centric innovation, as we said, because it's easier now to do any kind of testing and understanding really what are the needs, aspiration, and preference of our clients. And we talked already of few business models, but I will find some time and we'll talk about more of these. And we are going to reconstruct the world. This is what I think is going to happen in the end. Thank you for being with me. I wish you a lovely rest of the day, rest of the week. Yahli.